And hundreds of journalists and accountants poured over the budget documents today. And in that budget lockup, pouring over them as well, was our own Danny Globerman. And Danny joins us now live from downtown Ottawa. So, Danny, what does the budget mean for people living in this city?
Well, Lucy, the billions of dollars in the budget is certainly providing some hope to the city of Ottawa. But the question is, how much? Will the city be able to get its hands on any of this money?
The picture on the cover of the budget book tells the story. More than anything else, this budget is about infrastructure, nearly $12 billion worth over 2 years. For cities like Ottawa, the biggest chunk of that is a $4 billion fund specifically for provincial and municipal projects, things such as sewers, roads, and water systems. But before the federal dollars flow, cities and provinces will have to come up with matching funds.
By the time you go through all the approval process of getting that money out to the municipality, you get everything going. It's still going to take a few months before you can actually get that shovel in the ground, in my mind.
Ottawa will also have a shot at other infrastructure funds as well. $1 billion for green infrastructure, $2 billion for colleges and universities, money to restore federally owned buildings, and even money for local festivals. But there is no money to encourage the high-tech industry, and in this town, that's a disappointment.
I really thought as we try to move away from manufacturing to knowledge-based that there would be more in there for other knowledge-based businesses other than the green tech.
The government is also freezing public service wage increases at 1.5% a year for the next 3 years, meaning any group that's already settled for more than that will be rolled back.
The collective bargaining process has been infringed upon. This is a constitutional right. The union will look at all the options that are in front of us in order to restore collective bargaining, because that's a basic fundamental right that we have.
And finally, the city will have a shot at one more infrastructure fund, about $1.5 billion for new and refurbished social housing units, a problem that already runs into the hundreds of millions of dollars here. Danny Globerman, CBC News, Ottawa.
And reporter Jeff Semple talked to local people who are putting a lot of hope in the federal budget. He joins us now live. So, Jeff, what are people telling you?
Well, Lucy, with the country in a recession, a lot of people were watching this budget announcement very closely. For many of them, it could mean the difference between employment and unemployment. For workers here in Ottawa, there is some good news and some bad news.
First, the good news. The budget injects $12 billion over the next 2 years into new infrastructure. In Ottawa, analysts say that could mean the creation of close to 6,000 construction jobs. And for people like Tyler Hines, that's a lifeline.
I'm trying to pay for rent. I'm, scraping money together. It's really hard.
Hines is a civil engineer. For months, he's been looking for work with no luck. Now, he's hanging his helmet on the budget.
That'll panned out perfectly for people graduating right now, looking to get into the trades, into the industry, create the economy, get it back up and running. That's what the country needs.
I think really the tide has turned.
Two other budget winners are David Wilson and Michael Denny. Both are engineers working to develop alternative energy technology, and both hope to get a piece of the new $1 billion green infrastructure fund.
It's going to be very good for the clean tech sector.
But for those caught in the city's failing high-tech sector, the budget comes up short.
We're trying to give you some of those different tools.
It offers little for these former tech workers at this employment workshop, people like Omre Dalek.
We're now down to one income, and with 2 kids, it's not helping any way, shape, or form.
Dalek lost his job 10 months ago and had hoped the budget would give the tech sector a much-needed boost.
I believe high-tech really is a big fuel for Canada's economy.
But today offered Dalek one piece of good news. His unemployment insurance was scheduled to run out this month. Today's budget extends EI coverage by 5 weeks.
I have to find some sort of income, and I'm hoping it's going to happen sooner than later.
But with no help in sight for the city's struggling tech sector, he's not sure where to look. Jeff Semple, CBC News, Ottawa.